Hello guys, this is Longview once again, and I am just here to say that we have another hard drive to mount. So I am going to be showing you how to mount another hard drive using the fstab file, and let's go ahead and get started. So first what we're going to want to do is find a location on where to mount our hard drive in. So what I'm going to be using is the home directory, and in the home directory, I'm going to be making a file calledglibrary. That's my games library because I have my Steam and stuff in there. I'm also going to be using it for Lutris and stuff, so that way I could download some games from Lutris. And in order to do that, you do mkdir, which is make directory, glibrary, click enter, and in order to make sure it has made it, you're going to do ls. And as you can see right here, glibrary. What's next is you're gonna want to find where your hard drive is located at, or what's the name of the hard drive. In order to find that out, you're going to type in lsblk to pull up a list of all of the partitions and all of your drives that are connected to the computer. What I have right here is SDA drive with the SDA1 partition, that is our home. SDC, that is the flash drive I used to install Artix in. I'm gonna remove that and keep it in a drawer. And NVMe1, that is where I kept our boot partition and root partition. What the drive that I just did The drive that we need to mount is our SDB, and I want to go ahead and mount SDB1. This SDB1 right here is going to be our game Steam library. That's what I'm going to use. These other partitions are Windows partitions that I'm going to remove and start over because I'm going to show you guys how to dual boot Windows and how to get Windows showing in Grub. So, how we end up doing that is now that we know which partition we're getting, which is SDB1, we are going to type in, because one of the things we need is our UUID. So, how to get our UUID is you have to type in sudo blkid, type in your password, and it brings up all of your partitions. Alright, so now you go ahead and look for SDB1. It's right here. You need the UUID, and everything else you just don't need. Don't even look at the part UUID. Just go to UUID and highlight in between the quotations. And what you're going to want to do now is Control Shift C to copy. And now you have that. So now let's go ahead and clear this. Now we have to go into our fstab file. Where our fstab file is located in the etc folder. So what you want to do is do sudo vim or any other text editor you decided to use root etc slash fstab. Alright, so now that we're in our fstab file, we are going to go and look at what's in there. We have our UUID for our root partition, UUID for our home partition, and UUID for our boot partition. That's a small UUID. Okay. Oh, Lord, what is all this? Okay. Well, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add the partition of the hard drive that we have and mount it onto our system. So what we're going to do is go to press enter, and I'm going to comment slash dev slash sdb1 You don't have to do this, but it's good to know what you're mounting. So I'm gonna press enter, do UUID equals Control Shift V to paste your UUID of the partition we're using. And next we are going to want to do root home, and then I know some distributions you could just do it to the directory you're in. Uh, in mine, apparently, I have to go ahead and type in my username as well, and then G library. There you go. What's next is we go ahead and say what file system we're in, which the file system for the partition is exe4. We're also going to type in default, and oh, this is Leo from the future. I just wanted to go ahead and do this in editing so the video wouldn't be a really long video. In other case, what you're gonna have to do is do defaults with an S, not default, because I messed up on my spelling. And what you're gonna have to do now is do 0 because we don't want to do any backup dumps or dump backups, and then 0 for file system checks. We don't want to go ahead and do that either. So what we're gonna do now is :Q to get out of here. And what you're gonna want to do now is go to sudo mount -a. From here now, it should be mounted. You should not have to go ahead and worry about if this is gonna work, if this isn't gonna work. It works, and now we have our G library set up. As you can see, it's lighted up right now. We go into it, we go cd gl library and ls, and everything is there. I have my backups, my Steam library is good, and everything's good. If you realize that in your Steam library that you can't access it, you're gonna have to go ahead and change your permissions, which in order to do that, you're gonna have to go back to home, do sudo chmod 777. This is going to be a temporary thing. You want to go ahead and change your permissions to something that Steam and you can access, but not necessarily every program. It's a certain number. I'll go ahead and get to it in another video. And then once you do sudo chmod 777, you are going to want to do gl library. You know, if I could type it right, because capitalization works. And there you go. Now Steam can go ahead and access it, can access your library, can make updates, modifications, whatever it does. Alright, so that's going to be all. Thank you very much and have a nice day, guys.